Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. This week we see the tactical stuff that happened when I played Martin from the UK, the sponsor of the channel, in this cutthroat 2,000 point competitive battle report. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to this Tactical Corner. Today we look at 2,000 points of Dark Eldar versus 2,000 points of White Scars. If you haven't watched the battle report, make sure you tick the link down below. Watch the report first, as we'll talk about some of the tactical nuances of this game. Now, this game, Martin from the UK came to Canada to play a game, and we were practicing for the Capital City Bloodbath, a large GT-sized event in Ottawa, Ontario, held by the Canhammer crew. So, competitive event using the ETC style format, only using indexes as well. So we are playing a mission. It's a combination of Maelstrom and I believe Emperor's Will or something like that. But it's a Maelstrom, maybe just kill points. But all in all, the game I knew was going to come down to a few things. Number one, who had the Alpha Strike? Being that we're using the rules that first one to finish deploying gets to go first. I knew there was a few things that I had to be careful of. Those Storm Ravens can be very nasty. And this little guy here, the Vindicat Assassin, can really cause some havoc by killing characters and key models. So you have to be careful. Now, a lot of bikers really pose a threat to someone like the Dark Eldar. They're multi-wound, they have a lot of shots with their twin-link bolters or their two bolters, and with 2 wounds apiece they can really lay down the firepower. Now, this game came down to a few things. Tactically, I decided I went first. I did go first. I believe I stole the initiative. And I was able to knock out a lot of Martin's firepower by destroying a Storm Raven with my Ravagers on the first turn and really crippling the second one. My main focus was to do 2 things. Number one, tie up the bikes in combat, which I did with my Witches. Now, I'd given them +1 toughness, being that I knew that they needed to stick around for longer against things like bolter fire. So +1 toughness really helps Witches to stay alive longer. And number 2 was dealing with the Storm Ravens. The Storm Ravens and Storm Talon are really the highest priority target for any Drukhari army. They are very mobile, and they put a lot of strength firepower out there with multiple levels of damage that can take out not only Dark Eldar infantry, but also Dark Eldar tanks. So that had to go, and I did that very well with Lances. Dark Lances are some of the best anti-tank weapons in the game, doing d6 damage at -4 AP for each shot, which means that any tank not in cover with a 3+ armor save will not receive a save against it, and this is quite huge. Now, a key moment of the game was when I charged in. Sorry, this picture's a little blurry, but I charged into the backfield with my Mandrakes and a Raider with a couple of models in it. This was to tie up those Predator Annihilator tanks with their last cannons that would have done a lot of damage to the rest of my tanks, and essentially forcing them to fall back out of combat and preventing them from shooting. This allowed the rest of my army to focus on the things that I needed to kill, such as the bikes that could then take objectives in my backfield, but also the Assassin, who I kept on tying up in combat with a tank, like a Ravager or a Raider. All in all, the Maelstrom cards were even on both sides, and we were both picking up points. But what it came down to was the fateful combat in the center of the board. Having neutralized the Predator Annihilators, the Storm Ravens, and the Storm Talon, it was really a matter of killing the characters and the biker support, in which my Succubus with her Archite Glaive and my Cabalite Warriors did exceedingly well. Once the Predators were eliminated, the bikers dead, the characters became easy pickings for my Scourge Heat Lancers that do a lot of damage, but also for the last of the Lancers that were alive on the Ravager, the Raider, and the Razorwing jet fighter. So let me know what you think of the mission, of the armies, and of the way that we do these tactical corners down below in the comments. Now, I do this video every Thursday, but if you'd like more content and to be in contact with me more often, consider helping me on Patreon as I create more varied content for you. And stay tuned for next week. We have a whole other battle report. Skari out.